Good morning, gamers, and welcome back to Hellstormwargaming. My name is Mikey, and today is an exciting day. What can I say? What can I say? I did something stupid, and it paid off. Hope you're all well. Thank you so much for tuning in. And my name is Mikey. It's Wednesday. We're going to be talking about the morning news and things that have happened this week. And once again, it's all about me, obviously, of course. Thank you so much for tuning in. Say hello, say where you're from, and how could I have ever doubted you? Lowly Grandmaster. Mwah. I love you. Mwah. I love you. You know what else I love? This. Another trophy. Mwah. Look at it. Read 'em and weep, baby. It says... Look what it says. Undefeated place. Welcome. Hello, where I'm from. Well done, Lyle. You understood the assignment. Understood the assignment. There we go. But hello, everyone. Hello. Let me come and say hello to you. Thank you so much for tuning in. He's late again. Only a couple of minutes. It's fine. What's a couple of minutes between friends, you know? What's a couple of minutes between friends? It's got 30 seconds to be on time. I was on time. You were merely waiting for the king to arrive. Did I meet Magoo? I don't know, Grimgar. What do you think? What do you think? Did I meet Magoo? Hey, Mercenary Q, thank you so much for starting us off with that gifted membership to Stu. Make sure you say thank you, Stu. You're a freeloader. And we're trying to hit 10 members every single stream. I ain't missed it today. 10 members. Let's go. I deserve it. I'm a powerful gamer. I took the worst army in the game. And I technically kind of won a tournament. Went undefeated. Not my fault there were too many players this time. So welcome. Come on, boys. Let's do this. TikTok, Mikey, I'm on time. Clearly. I'm catching up on Monday stream, so take your time. All right, guys. Well, when Riverside's finished watching Monday stream, we'll carry on. All right. Morning, Andy. Good to see you yesterday, matey. Good to see you, buddy. Cambo, hello. Joel, hello. Grimgar, good job. Mikey doesn't have a real job that requires timekeeping. Very true, except for Warhammer is built on keeping time because it's a chess clock. Is this drama or not? This could be drama. This could be considered drama. Did you beat Magoo? Mahoo more like it. Mahoo, very cringe. That's true. Morning, guys. Off all week, so I've actually managed to catch this midweek stream for on. So welcome, ICD Chief. Welcome to the better show. Better than Mondays. Definitely better than Mondays. Has better people in here. It's more wholesome. We hang out more. More drama happens. It's great. It's great. But yeah, we've got We've got a review stream to talk about because I went to a tournament yesterday. A midweek tournament. I know, crazy. It's actually the second one I've done. Midweek tournaments, guys, just hit different, you know? It's Wednesday. I've already got my fill of Warhammer. It's great. It's so good. I'm still molding. Disgusting Resilient podcast. I met Aiden yesterday and Will, because Will's part of the podcast as well, isn't he? I met both of them anyway. It was great. No pressure. Don't ruin my last day of being 29. We won't ruin it. We won't ruin it. No. It's just going to be me gloating about how I basically won a tournament with Grey Knights. Already played more 40k than a playtest and it's only Wednesday. So, congrats to Dave, who was always there. He obviously placed first. I actually only placed third, but it's just like to do with points. It's like there's 3 undefeated players and they all get a prize. So, it's Tuesday really midweek. I mean, it's Wednesday today. I've had loads of Warhammer this week. How much Warhammer have you guys played? I've played 3 games. And with the army I took, I've played a total of 4 now. Wasn't bad, no. It was fun, mate. Will you talk about trucks problem? I'm going to talk about the games, yeah? Much like those people who always seem to be at the golf course, no one actually works. Very true. So, welcome to the stream. Again, we're going to be talking about what happened yesterday, mostly. I'm probably not going to be painting today. Painting cringe. Also, I've just got a lot to do, because I had the day off yesterday. You know? I had the day off yesterday to play Warhammer. So this week I got to work. And I've got like... I'm still working with this printer. I had it fail last night. I've got all the terrain to build, but stuff hasn't arrived. So we're probably not going to be painting today. So it's going to be a quick fire stream. Quick fire, like 2 hours. I played 2 games so far, another tomorrow. That's a lot. Again, more than playtesters, supposedly. What was the prize? It was a cool plaque and a bottle of Prosecco. Just joined to a failed print. Boo, printer, boo. Well, I showed it off the other day, but I'll show you why it's failed, okay? But another one's failed. Right, I'm going to show people. You can't tell anyone, and if this idea gets stolen, I am going to sue, okay? I did show this piece off on Monday. It's going to be pretty sick. It's going to be pretty good, you know? It's going to be pretty fun, okay? So no one can steal this idea. This is my idea, okay? No one's ever done this. I'm doing it first. It's probably because it's a bad idea. But we're doing it, so. I don't think anyone is mad enough to afford the amount of resin it's costing, that's why. This Valrak wannabe. What are you on about a Valrak wannabe? I had a helmet before Valrak. I got one in the studio, I know. Is that the Jupiter? No, this is something else. No free promo yet, they haven't paid. I just realised the logo is fully viewable on screen. No free promo, they haven't paid. I got my regular Tuesday gaming. Oh, well done on winning, man. Congrats. Turn the fails into some terrain. I don't know how, like, what could you turn this into? A giant statue of a space marine, like a humongous size. It'd be like a mile high in game. That would be pretty sick. That would be pretty fun. But yeah, I don't know what to do with this, to be honest. Would it cheaper, more efficient to print that helmet in FTM? Yeah, 100%. But resin. Carry on, you're misunderstanding. Yeah, but it's in resin. The more you described it, the better it sounded. Yeah, true. Like a mile high statue would be pretty fun. Let's type after hour we've cleaned up resin. Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly that. That's why I'm like trying it out. And it's got a big machine, so I may as well like. I'm not even using the full build plate, okay? Like just for reference of this machine, which have not paid me, so I can't tell you the brand yet. Just as a little fun thing. As you can see, I'm printing the other half. My mouse isn't working properly. I can't actually see my cursor. You can. I can't. GT Box cringe. Thanks to GT Box sending me another code that just doesn't fucking work again. I can't see my mouse. Anyway, you can kind of see. It's actually frozen. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening anymore. GT Box doesn't like being captured by OBS for some reason. Oh, there we go. So as you can see, it's not using the full bed. If I move it, how high can we go? How far until it gets cut off? It's quite high. Or does it actually get... There it gets cut off there. Oops. There. As you can see. I'm trying to show you. It's very shit, this software, when I'm trying to record it. Hey, Thom, thank you very much for gifting that membership, brother. Thank you so much, mate. You're a fucking star. So, yeah, that's the helmet. Just as a reference, this is the helmet. And it's that far off the ground. That's how high I can print.
Rejoined.
That's how it's going to be the new Saturn 3. No, the Saturn 3 is fucking tiny compared to this. Saturn 3 is tiny, baby. Yeah, but that's how big we're talking. That's the size, you know? So yeah, it would be way more efficient and way cheaper to print this helmet in plastic. But it's in resin. I know. Crazy. Crazy. What a concept. So, yeah, I'm probably going to do one FDM as well. The sports are nearly the same resin volume as the helmet. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, each one of these prints is like nearly a full bottle of resin. It's fucking awful. It's awful, guys. Each print is like, with the supports, is like, you can see all the empty bottles behind me. Each print is like nearly a full bottle. It's pretty bad. So... it'll look better in resin. It will look better in resin. It'll be way more uncomfortable to wear, so I'm probably going to just have it as a display piece. But that's the video content, okay? That's the video. It's like 30 quid a print, yeah, and I've got to do at least 4 bits. So it's probably going to be like 150 quid, I think, in resin. But, thankfully, I should probably shout these out before the video. Shout out to, yes, that's 3D printed, and Faux Hammer for sending me a bunch of Wargamer resin to play with. Designed for miniatures, and I sent him a tweet this morning, sent him a message. I was just like, I'm just saying that I am really testing this resin out, mate. really testing it. He was like, what the fuck are you on about? Let's go, ICD Chief. Thank you. Listen, guys, I need to buy lots more resin, okay? They sent me a few bottles. It's not going to be enough, okay? So people like ICD Chief, people like Tom, and people like Mercenary Q are literally keeping the channel alive and making sure my resin addiction, but not like injecting, it doesn't sound good. I just need a resin, okay? So if you want to support the channel, then you can for as little as £1.99 a month. If you're already a member, or you don't want to be a member, but you want to call someone else poor and call them a freeloader, just like Captain Chaos, Discussing Resilient Podcast, Chris Greenwood, Simon, and my own mod, Free Radio Armageddon. If you want to be a freeloader like them and call them poor, because they are not a member, you've made them a member, you can do by gifting a membership and letting them join our Discord, !Discord in chat. So thank you, ICG. Thank you so much for the 5, mate. You are very, very kind, and happy early birthday to you, mate. Clue there is miniatures. Yes, miniatures. It's from a miniature, this helmet, so it counts. Even Nightbot is like, why are you being cringe? Become a green name so I can afford to live. Exactly. Don't forget that. Nightbot is reminding you. So anyway, yes. Yesterday. Yes, well, Monday. We should probably talk about first. Let's talk about Monday first. Monday, I was telling you about this tournament. I went to. So, a midweek tournament sounds pretty weird, but it's actually really smart. Really smart. Because, like, people who... oh, that's today. That's now. People who, like, work weekends can't really play tournaments. So every RTT and every fucking... like GT or whatever, it's always on a Saturday and a Sunday, right? They're always at a weekend, which makes sense because most people are off at a weekend. You would think, because like we live in 2023, not everybody has weekends off, you know? People who work, teachers, you know, cool. Fucking, I don't know, most office places, yeah, cool. What about people who work in shops? They don't get weekends off, you know? What about people who work in a hospital? They don't usually get weekends off, you know? And it's like, it's one of those things that it sounds crazy when you go, a middle of the week tournament. And then just like, the tournament sells out. And it's like, oh, yeah, there's like fucking loads of people who don't work weekends, so can't actually go to tournaments, can't go to RTTs, you know? Their kids are at school, so at the weekend, they're going to look after the kids. Like, that's just like, three examples of like, oh, actually, yeah, I can't play the tournament because I don't get the weekends off. So midweek tournaments, lads, ladies, we're going to have to do some more. They're like genius. And people like me, low life, beggar, e-beggar, lives on YouTube, talks about Warhammer for a living. I love midweek tournaments. It means I could do 2 in the same week. Or it means I could do a tournament yesterday and I can go and play something else or do something else at the weekend, you know? It's great. Usually I'm running tournaments myself. So the weekends that I get off to do Warhammer are like the only weekends I have off of Warhammer, because the other weekend I'm running a tournament or I'm attending a big one or I'm streaming an event, you know? So like, for people like me, it's great. But then, like Joel has said, the most people that turned up are people who can't take the weekends off because they've got to look after wives, kids, etc. Do the things that they've got to do. But middle of the week, take a day off. Let's go play some Warhammer, baby. You know, it's great. It's so good. So take a bit of annual leave, you know, take one day off. Then you got a whole weekend free to do chores. You got to go see family. You got to look after your kids, etc. Awesome. You've already played all the Warhammer this week. So midweek tournaments, absolutely banging. Great idea. Well done. Whoever, I think it was Ben that did the first one. And, well, he's part of Dyson Ducks now. He's at Sanctuary. At the time he was like with another channel, but I'm pretty sure Ben was the first one, and we did a midweek AOS GT, which I did really well at. I almost won. I only lost to the winner, and it was very close. It was against Richie from Team England, who I lost to. But then loads of people have started picking them up, and they're really popular. They're really smart, I think. So Leodis has been doing them for a while. Yes, I think Ben did it. It was like January last year, or maybe February last year, and then they've started picking up ever since, which is really cool to see. Again, great concept, great idea. But I went. So Magoo, one of our lovely moderators, invited me along, and as we said on Monday, I was talking about Grey Knights. I was talking about like how I didn't want to take Space Marines because, you know, the new codex is out soon. I don't really want to like try and build a list for an old book when the new book's going to come. I'd rather start building a list ready for that, which is fine. But I took Grey Knights. Now, Grey Knights famously aren't very good at killing vehicles. Famously. I've said this multiple times, you know. And I took them to a tournament where every fucker was playing Death Guard with triple play Burst Crawler. There was out of 26 players, there was 4 Death Guard players, you know. And I played Magoo round 1. He had 6 trucks and 2 Squigosaurs. Anything over like toughness 8, it starts touching toughness 9, toughness 10, I'm out, you know. I can't do anything about it. I just got to hope and pray, you know. Can't listen because I'm in a cafe, but how much is Mikey slagging me off? A lot, mate. Actually loads. Actually loads. Everyone, 4 out of 26. So, what was the percentage of that? What was that, like 5%? No? No, 5% is like 1.3. So it's like 20%. I don't know why I can't do maths. I'm so bad. It's like just shy 20% of the field is Death Guard. There's 20 factions. 20 factions. Most people were the only ones running their faction. Then there was 4 Death Guard players. That's a lot. That's a high percentage. Former engineer. Listen. Didn't have to do percentages. Just measuring, mate. Is it 20? Yeah, cool. 20 what? Who knows? Even so, 15%. When every other player was basically the only one playing their army, there was like 2 Space Marine players. There was 1 Tau player, 1,000 Suns, 1 Grey Knights, yours truly. He's been memeing on me this morning. What have you been saying? I can't look yet because I haven't actually... I ain't talked about our game yet. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Look at those. They're funny. But yeah, so Death Guard, obviously I've had a huge increase in popularity due to the fact that they have a very, very good contagion rule now. Contagion rule being, at the start of the game, either you're -1 save whilst in contagion, -1 save characteristic, or -1 to hit and ballistic skill, basically. Weapon skill and ballistic skill, hit rolls, essentially. -1 characteristic. So I took Grey Knights because obviously I played them on stream a few weeks ago. I've only had them a couple of weeks. I played 1 game and I'm like, they seem really fun. I'm going to take those because it's nice and fun, you know. It's an RTT. I don't care. I was saying in the car with Magoo on the way, I was like, I'd like to win 2 today. That'd be fun because it's just like, seems like a fun army to play. Lads, ladies, I was underestimating just how fun they are to play. Watching my opponent's head explode, right? Watching my opponent's heads explode, trying to figure out what Grey Knights do and what they can't do, and how to stop me doing what I want to do, is actually hilarious. Okay? actually hilarious. Let me show you. Because Magoo pointed this out to me at the start of the game. And when I wanted to use it. And I was like, wait, I can't do that. And I was like, he was like, yeah, you can. I was like, nah. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, Then my entire game plan completely changed. So they have a stratagem called Mists of Deimos, right? Now, I played this against Matt on stream the other day, and it was great, okay? So, your opponent's movement phase, just after an enemy unit, ends a normal advance or fallback move. So, basically, if you move within 9, you can do something. It's one Grey Knight Psychic unit, which is basically every Psychic unit. Your unit can make a normal mover up to 6, as if it was your movement phase. And that's all I read. I stopped reading. I did the Warhammer thing. I read the first sentence, and that was it, you know? That was it. Didn't read anything else. But essentially, I thought it was like the Space Marine one, the redeploy one. I can't remember what it's called now. Adaptive. I can't remember. So there's a Space Marine one where you move D6 or you move 6 if you're in the tactical doctrine. I was like, yeah, just move. And he was like, no, you can go into reserve. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you can go into reserve. I was like, no, you can't. He's like, yeah. I was like, nah, don't be silly. 1 CP to go back in reserve if you get too close. It seems really good. That's really silly. Checked it. What's it say? Put it to fucking deep strike. Put that bad boy into deep strike. Ah, hell yeah. Lads, ladies, gamers. I did the gamer thing. I read the first line, and then that was it. So Magoo single-handedly gave me the most broken stratagem in the game because I hadn't read it. It was hilarious. So, Mr. Deimos, every time they end and move within 9, you just fuck off. You know, you move 6. All right? You move 6, or you just go, bye, and disappear. And as has rightfully been said, I'm pretty sure, I did do this in game 2, I'm pretty sure you can then rapid ingress in the same turn. So you can disappear into the sky when they get too close, and then spend a second command point to rapid ingress in their movement phase and deep strike back down. It's very funny to watch. But this single-handedly, like, screwed every single opponent I had. You know, every game I've played, just like they're like, oh, I'm gonna, oh wait a minute, I'm within 9. I'm like, yeah, if you do that, you're within 9. You can teleport, can't you? I'm like, yeah. I can teleport if you do that. And they're like, can I go back? I'm like, yeah, go on then. You know, I'm not a knobhead. I'll let people play around it. But I'll be like, oh, you're within 9 if you do that. And they're like, ah. It's very funny just to watch. It's probably like borderline Warhammer torture, I think. Watching your opponent just squirm, trying to get close, and then not being able to. Especially when you have a brick of 10 paladins with the Sigil of Excellence. You know? Where is it? The Sigil of Excellence. Let me find it. Here it is. Sigil of Excellence. Now it's only once per battle, but it's on a Grandmaster with 10 paladins. In your opponent's shooting phase, when the bearer's unit selected as target of a range attack, you can then remove the bearer's unit from the battlefield and then set it back up again anywhere on the battlefield more than 9 away horizontally. So basically, as soon as you are targeted on the paladin unit that people really want to kill, because it's fucking paladins, okay? You just teleport. So not only can't they get anywhere near, if they shoot the unit they really want to shoot, rather than all the infantry units that hide in behind walls, because that's what they do, that teleports out of the way as well. So it's only once per game, but it meant not one opponent shot that unit. I think maybe Whirly round 2 shot it once, and like killed like 1 paladin. I was like, I'm not going to teleport. It's like 2 large cannons here, whatever. Waiting for Mikey to play at Warhammer World and show the rules writers how this works, and then going, oh, that's interesting, then getting it nerfed. Yeah, true. That will happen. But these 2 abilities, by far, arguably broken. So you can't go near the Grey Knights, and you also can't shoot the units you want to, because you have 15 interceptors that move after they shoot, or they just charge into something and hide behind a wall, because they're great at doing that. You got the Purgation squads that don't need line of sight, so they shoot through walls. Then if you are in danger, but your opponent has gone, oh, next turn, if you don't, you got to kill this unit, or I'm gonna get you. You just go, okay. Well, I'm just gonna pick up 3 units because at the end of every turn, you put them in the reinforcements and set them up again next turn. So you just teleport them at any opponent's turn. Select a number of Grey Knights unit, which is in this case is up to 3. Then next turn, you deep strike onto the battlefield. Oh boy. And as Gary's just rightfully pointed out, you can spend a CP to... Where is it? Use Prognosticated Arrival, which is essentially like the Inceptor strategy ability. Deep strike 3 away, which is great. And interceptors could shoot and then move. So they could deep strike 3 away, shoot something, then move. So you can be like, oh, I can't go onto this objective because you bodied it. Oh, I'm going to shoot and then just tag the objective because I can now move 6. Or you can just shoot deep strike 9, then shoot and move 6. Isn't there a common mantra that the movement phase wins games? Mikey's here taking 3 extra movement phases a turn. I am. It's hilarious. It's so funny. It's so funny. So those like few abilities, I actually never deep strike within 3, but I had it in my pocket, so it forced my opponent to play around it every turn. Those 3 abilities though, not being able to shoot a unit that they want to, not being able to get near a unit they want to, single-handedly, hilarious, you know? Just anything that my opponent wanted to do, they couldn't do it because they were just like, oh, actually. And I was like, yeah, that's unfortunate, isn't it? That's really awkward for you. And then you just lol, you know? So anyway, I played against Mr. Magoo, our lovely moderator, Mr. Magoo. Now I'm just going to pull up his list. I don't have a bunch of pictures. I tend to not take pictures during games, but I do have I've got the map pack that we can have a look at. I can do some drawing because I know you all love drawings. But essentially, every time my opponent wanted to do something, I questioned them because I could counter it, which is good. So, which is really funny. Really funny. Now, the problem is there's only so much you can do. But Grey Knights are really good at playing secondaries, you know? You draw a card, you have a way to get it. You essentially put some units in reserve before you draw, because it's at the end of the opponent's turn. Draw into your cards, and then use your deep striking units to go get those cards. So Grey Knights usually nail secondaries, which are obviously normally the hardest part to do. Now, the problem is, with Grey Knights, is they don't have, on paper, a great deal of damage output. They have everything in combat, barring the Dread Knight, or if you're a close combat weapon, which is Strength 4, you know, you don't have a weapon. Essentially, you're punching them. Every stick, like Force Weapon, a Thunder Hammer, a Halberd, a Sword, Falchions, it's all the same. Strength 6, -2, 2. Pretty mediocre. The great thing is that Grey Knights have loads of attacks. They have base 3 attacks at Strength 6, they're hitting on 3s. The Paladins have 4 hitting on 2s. The Terminators have 4 hitting on 3s with lethal hits. So whilst they and all the side cannons, all the AP1, pretty shit, but 2 damage and 8 strength 8 and 3 shots each, and you can take 6 in a paladin unit with a grandmaster. I only had 5, but you can take 6 of them in 1 unit. So you just get loads of weight of fire. You get loads of storm bolters to clear screens. You get loads of shots, pretty good anti-infantry shots, like strength 8 -1, 2 damage is pretty decent. But the problem is you don't really kill tanks. Now, I took the Grandmaster, and I took him with a Thunder Hammer and the +1 to Wound Relic. If you're a demon, you get +1 damage as well. Now, the problem is he's only 5 attacks, and he hits on 4s with the hammer. And hitting on 4s is fucking dog shit. I think it should be 3s, and the sword should be hitting on 2s. Because the sword is only strength 10, -2, d6 damage, whereas the hammer is strength 14, -3, d6 +1. It's not that great. It's not that great. So people are basically relying on librarians of their essentially Doom Bolt. That's kind of like how people are like looking at lists. They're like going 3 units of Terminators, a Terminator librarian each one, and it's like, yeah, that's fine. There's no playing 30 Terminators. It's just kind of a stat check. So imagine being Abek and hitting on 4s. This is a Grandmaster in Dread Knight armor who hits on 4s. I think that's pretty dumb. Should be 3s, maybe. So yeah, I played against Magoo round 1. He had 2 Squigosaurs, essentially the character one. Nob on Smasher Squig, Warboss in Mega Armor. He had 30 Beast Snagger Boys, 20 Boys, 6 Trucks, 2 Aggression Unit, Mega Nobs, Squig Hog Boys, and then 15 Storm Boys. Now, I made a bunch of mistakes against Magoo, but it was like, me and Magoo had a great time. So it was kind of, it was just nice to play. You know, it was just like, we just had a great time. It's like, oh, I've got to do this. It's like, oh, yeah, go on then. Go on then, sort that out. We kind of both gave each other a little place. Because, again, we just played. I've not played Magoo in a while. We played on stream a few months ago. But we had a great time. And Magoo's really, really fun to play. And he took some excellent, excellent pictures. As you can see, we have the Paladins facing down to Mozrog Scragbad, which almost lost me the game because I shot everything into him. And charged him with the Paladins. I got 40-odd attacks into him. I had to use a Devastating Wound stratagem for free, because there's 2 CP strat to make Psychic Weapons, Devastating Wounds, and all of the Force Weapons are Psychic Weapons, obviously. So I was like, I can use it for free. It's a battle tactic, so I'll do that, because the Grandmasters can do it once per game. And I left him on, like, 3 wounds or something. And then his entire army charged the Paladins, because the Grey Knights are great. They can teleport away. They can miss the Deimos. They can get targeted by a range weapon, and then I can redeploy them, okay? However, if I'm locked in combat, the only way I can teleport with a Paladin unit is the Relic, the enhancement. So whilst I was locked in, with Mozrog Scragbad, the big bad boy, on 3 wounds, he moved his entire army to charge the Paladins, and he was like, dude, shooting face. I was like, oh, there's a Terminator on 1 wound, didn't they? He was like, oh, yeah. I was like, shoot it. Kill him in combat if you want, with a pistol. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'll do that. And then rolled the dice. I was like, Magoo, don't do that. Don't do that, Magoo. And I just went, no. Because I tricked him. Because the only way I could have saved the Paladins is if he'd shot into the unit of Paladins with something. Then I could have activated my enhancement. Because that doesn't say you have to be in engagement. You can't be in engagement range. It's when you're targeted, you just pick them up and deep strike them. Because if you're in combat, you can't use the stratagem. So I went, Magoo, just shoot a pistol, mate. Kill that last Terminator. Then when you charge it, you'll be able to kill a big one. I was like, yeah, good idea. Started rolling. I was like, Magoo, don't. He's like, what? I was like, no, don't do it, Magoo. And he was just like, what? And I was like, I've got the enhancement. And he's like, oh my God. And I was like, obviously, I'm not going to make you do that. But it's very funny to watch. So I absolutely blue balls him by just going, shoot your pistol, Magoo. Shoot it. Go on. Listen to the voices. Shoot your pistol in combat. It almost... I mean, I would anyway, but it would have cost him a lot, that. It would have been like... It would have been brutal, because my brick of 10, or like 8 Paladins would have just been able to disappear and deploy somewhere else, and his entire army was in the middle of the board, not being able to do anything. So that was funny. That was funny. But I obviously didn't force him to do it. But this was kind of like the combat... After I made the charge, I managed to get everybody in. Pro Master Beta, I literally was, Niall. I made the charge, I managed to get in. I managed to like do a lot of damage, but I didn't manage to kill him. And then I think we have a close-up of afterwards. Yes, there it is. Afterwards, not quite as many Paladins left, but all of the boys and the Mega Nobs in combat now, but 1 less Scragbad, so it went too bad. So the way this game went, it was Scorched Earth. As you say, this is Ryan-sided deployment. It was Scorched Earth. It was like 5 objectives. The terrain they were using was really interesting, because obviously they got this like... I can't remember what this terrain's called. Is it foreground or something like that? I think it was like foreground terrain they used to call it. Let me see if I can get annotations up. Not Epic Games. Epic Pen. I love how it's just like close that picture for some reason. Sorry. There we go. So yeah, so like these buildings, they basically said you can actually, there's actually a good example because there's some here. You can see here, like these buildings have like created the same shape with just like two walls and a base basically. And they basically said because half the terrain is like this, like just walls, and then half the terrain is like this, you can't use any of the floors in these buildings, which is like very, very weird. A bit weird, I thought. They were also using woods and saying the woods just give you the benefit of cover, which is fine. I didn't think that was too bad. But yeah, so like the floors in these buildings we couldn't use. So there was no plunging fire opportunities, no double stacking on top of each other, no like putting a unit on a building and then putting a unit further back so then they have to charge both because they're in engagement range if they go underneath. So it was very 2D, I think is probably the best way to describe it. Very 2D, which I thought was quite interesting. Now, it's up to them what they do. It just felt a bit strange. There was like no upper level, okay? Everything was on the ground floor. There was no like you couldn't go up a level at any point because the floors basically weren't there. But the problem is the main problem I had with that rule is that stuff that couldn't fit underneath because there's a floor in the way couldn't go there, but also nothing could stand on the floor. So it's a bit strange. So like Dread Knights couldn't tuck right into the corner, even though they could on the other boards because the flooring's there, but also that's the terrain they've got and they're trying to make it fair. So I can kind of understand. It just felt a little bit flat, that's all. But that was the main thing. So yeah, Scorched Earth, basically it's hold 1, hold 2. And you can burn the ones in no man's land in your opponent's deployment zone. You've got to hold it within an inch of the objective marker. And you've got to be there in your next command phase. So you've got to stay there the entire time. I can't like do it and then teleport away at the end of Ryan's turn. I have to still be there. But also the problem is with these layouts is that a lot of them were wide open. Like these objectives, you can't stand on them and hide. There's like even this toe on, there's nothing there. And then in the middle there's just wood. So basically if you're holding an objective in the middle, you are open to getting shot. So gunline armies are having a great time in these missions. But basically what happened was I went first and like the strike squad moved 6 onto this objective and they have sticky objectives, which is very funny. Because what you can do, the strike squad scout, and then if you have scout, you start your command phase on an objective. You can sticky objectives in no man's land before the game starts because you scout onto them and then start the game. If you go first as well, you can just pull them back into safety. Essentially what I did with my strike squad is I moved it forwards onto this objective and then that was pretty much my entire turn. I think I moved like my Calidus over here. That was actually a really big play for Ryan. I moved my Calidus over here, then I moved my interceptors shot and then piled around the Calidus. But what happened was I moved the strike squad so close that if Ryan moved any unit, I could just mist of Deimos and either pull them away, or what I actually did was I move blocked half. I put them here and move blocked half his army going that way and forced them to go around rather than straight down the middle. Because I knew the middle, it'd be really easy for him to put everything there. But I wanted him to not play over there with everything. I wanted him to like split his forces, which is exactly what happened. Some of his trucks went this way, some of them went that way, and then some of them just kind of waited behind. But I didn't actually kill any. I think I killed like 2 trucks the entire game. I actually didn't kill that many because trucks are really hard to kill. They're a lot easier than most units. They're a lot easier than most units, but they're pretty hard to kill as a Grey Knight player. You don't really want to you want to charge them, but you'd rather charge something else. You can take them down in shooting because you've got strength 8 and strength 10 and they're really toughness 8. But you don't really want to. You want to be shooting infantry because you've got like barrels and barrels of buckets of dice to shoot at them, you know, and then fight in combat. But the first play I put the interceptors here and I put the Calidus here because I was like, lone opportunity's not going to be able to get taken off. And then I put the interceptors here and then I shot with the interceptors and then I fucking moved them. I think he's got a picture. No, he hasn't. Or maybe he hasn't. I haven't saved it. That's Ryan. That's Magoo. Living his best life. I essentially moved the interceptors onto the objective. So I was like, I've put a Calidus here to hold the point on her own because she's cheap and she's got low knot. But then I put the interceptors there anyway. So what did he do? He fucking came around the corner, charged the Calidus and killed her. And I was like, oh, right. Cool. I was like, yeah, fair play. But essentially, that didn't cost me the game, but I also didn't manage to vect any of the Orc battle tactics, and the Orcs have loads. He used -1 to wound before the Calidus went down. I was like, you know, I'll wait for the +2 charge. Be like, Big brain. Wait for the +2 charge. But then he never used it. So I never got to Vect, and he never used the stratagem I wanted to Vect anyway. But again, like, Grey Knights just played the secondaries so well. Now, this was not like 100, it wasn't like 100 win. But the fact is that I scored 83 points, 35 on primary and 38 on secondary. Whereas Ryan only got 30 and 25. So I won. It was an 83-65 victory. But Grey Knights just played the cards so well. Because everything I drew into, except for turn 1. Can I pull this up? Can I pull this up on screen? I think I might be able to, actually. Sorry, Discord. I'm just going to have to spam it there. It's the first option I had. Is the first option I had. I'm so sorry, Discord. There we go. So as you can see, like, I didn't score. I mean, 5-10 primary. Neither of us burned any objectives. But except for turn 1, where I had overwhelming force, which is kill units on objective and Ryan's hiding everything. I didn't max every card, but I scored both cards every turn. And that's something that I was finding Grey Knights were doing really well. Now, you could have gone for fixed. You could go for fixed secondaries. That's also fine. But, like, being able to score both your cards every turn, even for 3 points, is really good. Because it just means you rack up points, you know? Like 38 points on the secondaries. Obviously, with Ryan, his last 2 turns, obviously, like, a little bit different. You know, I'm obviously winning at that point. I've obviously killed a lot. But the fact is that, like, not being able to score any cards in the later turns is, like, really brutal to play. Whereas you can go, Grey Knights can just, like, pick stuff up, drop down again, and then whatever you draw, a lot of them are being position or kill stuff. But a lot of the time when it's kill one, like, no prisoners, you can kind of teleport to objectives that don't have a lot on. Like, you can deep strike and kill Gretchen, you know, because you can teleport, shoot them, and then move on to the objective to take that objective. You can deny defend stronghold, but a lot of missions are be in a place, you know. Probably like half of them are be in a place, and half of them are kill stuff. Like, what have you got? Overwhelming force, no prisoners, assassinate, bring it down. That's 4 already. What else do you have? I think that's pretty much all of them. Maybe it's more than 4. There's 16 cards. I'm trying to work out how many are kill ones. I don't have my deck handy though. Oh, I can pull it up on here. Let me have a look. Select missions. Oh, it hides them all. So you got assassinate. It bloody hides them all. I'm going to have to create a new game to go look. Plus. There we go. Fixed. No, I can't do that. Right, here we go. I've got it, chat. Right. Assassinate. Bring it down. No prisoners. Overwhelming force. There's only 4? That is crazy. I thought it was way more than that. I thought it was like half. Let me go again. Assassinate is. Bring it down is. No prisoners. Overwhelming force. There's only 4 kill ones. Oh my god, no wonder Grey Knights are so good. Okay, all the other ones are positioning and being a place. No wonder they play all the cards. There's 4 that are kill stuff, and a lot of the time you can do it because you just focus fire on one unit. Wow, I didn't realize it was that little. I thought it was like 5 or 7, maybe. Only 4 is really low. There you go, you learned something new. Chat, 4 secondaries are kill ones. And there's 16 in the deck. So yeah, so you're just drawing cards and you're always scoring them, and then primary is the issue. It's like being able to like try and stay in a place and stay safe is actually really hard, because as soon as your opponent gets too close, you want to teleport away, which is obviously super strong and super useful. But like just scoring cards, that's what you need to do. Just keep scoring cards, you know. Primary's bad. I mean, I scored 35. That's pretty good, to be fair. But like you're not gonna like max out primary and your secondaries. What you are gonna do is max out your secondaries. That's like kind of like almost guaranteed if you play the mission right and you keep holding, you keep like having assets. So if you start losing units, then no, you're not gonna be able to, because the whole point is you can redeploy 3 units a turn. So maybe 4 if you get shot with the old Sigil of Exigence. However, round 2, I didn't play Magoo because I won. I actually played the list I didn't want to play. I played Will Reed with Death Guard. As I said, this is the one list. I was like, all the Death Guard lists, this is by far the scariest one. He had Typhus, he had Death Guard Icon Bearer, which makes his Plague Bearers OC3 and makes a contagion range of 12 inches. Got the Lord of Virulence, which essentially spots for the Plague Bearers crawlers. Has a Flamer, has a Power Fist. He's alright, he's alright. 4 units of Plague Marines, all exactly the same. Got Flamer, 2 Plasma Pistols, and some heavy Plague Weapons, which are really nice. 2 Death Guard Predators, 3 Plague Bearers crawlers with entropy cannons, 2 Rhinos, 2 Nurgling units, and 3 War Dogs. This was brutal. This was so brutal. And I was just like, oh, this is... I drew the pairings. I was like, oh, this is it. This is... I'm losing this one. I might win the next one, but I've definitely lost this one. Because, famously, Grey Knights can't deal with tanks, and he had a lot. However, what they can do is play the mission, okay? Now, the layout for this one was interesting. Because it was... this was the terrain setup. As you can see, again, no flaws on this, so it's quite flat. There we go. So this is the terrain setup, as you can see, and it was search and destroy objectives. So essentially, you've got one here, but then the capture zone is like this booby. You got one here, something like this. Same here. It's equal. I don't know why I'm doing it so badly. Something like that. Then you have one in the middle. However, it was also hidden supplies, which means hidden supplies is you delete this objective and you go, I'm going to put one here 6 inches away, and then one here 6 inches away. And what that meant is the objectives were wide open again. Which I was a bit like, oh, okay, cool. We're just playing wide open terrain for some reason. We've got all this terrain, and then the objectives are fucking nowhere to be seen. So yeah, so this was an interesting one because of the strike squad trick. Me and Will have been talking about it because cultists in Death Guard can do the exact same thing. Your deployment lines are like 9 inch away. So 9 inches from here, you're about here. Something like this for deployment, maybe even worse. But essentially, this objective and this objective are both less than 6 away from the deployment zone, the capture zone, not like the middle of the objective, the capture zone. So what you can do is deploy a unit that scouts on the front line, like so. Like this. And then that same unit goes first and puts their fucking models in a line like this. And captures... That's 6 models, never mind. You get the idea. Another one there. You get the 2 objectives at the start of the game because you scout 6 onto the points and sticky objective them both, which means you capture both objectives and you can walk away from them again. So what I did was I went first and I did just that. Now, that was pretty fun. That was pretty funny. And I'll have a look at what I drew round 1. Because I think I grabbed some decent objectives. I think I got like deploy teleport homers. Turn 1. Which I was a bit like, oh, great. I was a bit like, yeah, deploy teleport homer, investigate signals. So, investigate signals. I had like my assassin who infiltrated up here. So she got investigate. And then I got investigate down here with like a dread knight or something. And then deploy teleport homer. So because I had a unit in the center, I just did that straight away. But one thing I realised, chat, is I was really worried about Death Guard. Because my entire army has a 2+ save. So I'm like, except for the Calidus, which she got an invuln anyway. I was like, that -1 save is going to be really brutal. Because everything's going to be... I'm going to have like a 3-up save. And then AP's going to come into it. I'm going to be losing models in droves. I'm using the Paladins very fast. Until I reread... oh, boys. I reread the Paladins. Okay? I reread the Paladins. Let me show you a little thing called... Oh, not Paladins. It's the Grandmaster with the Paladins, sorry. So, Grandmasters are very similar to Trajan Valoris, you know? They have a really cool rule, which, custody players, you've got something now. Here it is. Might of Purity. Whilst this model is leading a unit, it's leading 10 paladins, you can ignore any or all modifiers to the characteristic of models in that unit, to any roll or test made for models in that unit. Any or all modifiers characteristic models in that unit, and to any roll or test for models in that unit, excluding modifiers to saving throws. The crucial bit is the saving throws part. You can't ignore modifiers to the AP. Because if you start doing that, then no AP would work against you, obviously. However, you do ignore modifiers to the characteristic. And let me tell you what this says. It says, while an enemy user within contagion range, worsen the save characteristic of models in that unit by 1. And this is Death Guard Spread the Sickness. So what I realised after turn 2, again, not reading the rules, was that Might of Purity actually ignores both the toughness modifier of Death Guard, reducing your toughness by 1 while you're nearby, but also any other modifier that they can choose. So those new rules they got, Paladins just go, I don't care, you can't affect me. It's very fun. So anything that can ignore the mod or change the modifiers or change the characteristic of a Grandmaster's unit, the one he's attached to, because obviously you can attach him to Terminators and stuff like that. Now they can't reduce your toughness, so you're always toughness 5, which also means they're not wounding you on 2s or 3s a lot of the time, because the Paladins have the Warden ability, essentially, of if you're higher strength than their toughness, so if you're strength 6 or higher, you're -1 to wound. They don't make you strength 4, so now you're wounding on 3s instead of 2s, you're actually wounding on 4s instead of 3s. So they not only do they do that, they don't reduce the toughness, but they also can't modify the save characteristic by being in contagion. So my Paladins always had a 2-up save or a 4-up in one, depending. Obviously, AP is a thing. You can't really ignore that. So that was something that was like really crazy and probably made that list even better than it already was, because now the Paladins against Death Guard, which are really scary, I think they're going to be either a really good gatekeeper army or better. I think they have a lot of play. The fact that the Paladins and anything that ignores characteristic modifiers, ignores their save modifier and their toughness modifier at the same time, makes those bricks a lot harder to kill, because Death Guard famously also can't kill anything. You know? Like, Grey Knights can't kill tanks, Death Guard can't kill anything. What they do is reduce your save, reduce your toughness, and then spam things winning on 2s and they make you take loads of saves. That's kind of what they do. But the Paladins ignore it, so they were really handy in this matchup. Grandmaster, they're underwhelming enough. Your rules aren't making them worse. No, they're really good. They're really, really good. I thought they were good anyway. I thought the fact that they can only use the stratagems once per game was pretty shit, but this is amazing. This is really good. A really good rule. Especially with more and more modifiers coming out, like reducing movement speed from Night Spinners. Again, Death Guard being a big one. They're like 2 really big examples. Just ignoring both is great. But anyway, so I went first and I had the Strike Squad up here. And then Will made a massive mistake. Now, I don't think the game would have changed otherwise, but Will made a massive mistake and drew Storm Hostile Objective turn 1. And didn't realise you couldn't score it turn 1. So played an entire turn as if he was playing that card. And then realised we couldn't. So it was a bit shit for him. He just outpositioned. He got like outpositioned a little bit. He positioned the knight in the middle to go for it. But what that meant is my strike squad was in the middle because it had Storm Hostile. So he was trying to go to the objective in the woods. He moved close to there. So I missed the Deimos them and put them in reserve. And then deep struck them in this corner to start bullying this objective they had basically Naglings protecting. Can you have more than one master in your list? As far as I'm aware, yeah. As far as I'm aware, yeah, you can. And they're like, I think they're like 100 points. So yeah, so I started bullying his units over here. Like I was really close to the Naglings, ready for a cheap charge. Because obviously, if you rapid English, you can then move and then charge. But then he realized he couldn't actually play Storm Hostile. Now he drew. I was kind of like, we can't really go back and do the entire turn because we've done loads of shooting and stuff. But if you want to like draw a card, and if you can move for it, then that's fine. And then he drew behind enemy lines and had engaged on all fronts. So he's like, there was nothing he could do at that point, really. So yeah, so like this game was really weird because it's like, I didn't really kill much. I just scored cards. And then during the last turn, it was priority targets. So this one is hold 1, hold 2 for each turn, including turn 5 for both your opponent as well. You set whoever went second. Then at the end of the game, you score 15, or up to 15 for every objective you hold. Because the Grey Knights can move so fast, there's just so many bodies in there. Essentially, his Lord of Virulence is really good at boosting the Plague Burst Crawlers, but then didn't use it to boost the Plague Burst Crawlers, used it as like an action monkey in the corner, and then I just killed him off. So this game was like really weird because I was expecting all the tanks to run to the middle, knowing that Grey Knights can't kill them, and then I just have to try and like fight through, and if I win, I win, if I don't, I don't. He kind of like kept all of his vehicles back and was using his Plague Marines to go to the middle, and I was like, I'll just pick up the Plague Marines then. So it was a bit, I was a bit gutted for him because I think because of that first mistake he made, he was like really disheartened by the rest of the game. So it was a bit rough to play because it was just like every time he wanted to do something, I obviously had a counter. And it was almost like, it was like a feels bad at that point because every time he was like, I'm going to try and charge my Carnivore, I was like, I'm just going to miss the Deimos away from you. And he was like, I'm going to shoot that unit. I was like, that's the unit that can teleport. Are you sure you want to shoot? Because essentially what you do with Grey Knights, the best thing you can do is you can only use the stratagem, Mr. Deimos once. So you only have one unit that is in danger of having to use it, and all the other units stay away. And then the Paladins, whilst they've got their enhancement available, they can kind of do what they want. You know, they're far enough away usually. They can come out and shoot some guns, try and take down some infantry, try and do some damage to a tank with the amount of shots. They might do 3 or 4 wounds, 4 or 5 wounds, sorry, but they're not going to do a great deal. But while they've got their enhancement, they're like untouchable. As soon as they target them, if there's anything that's too scary, I'll just teleport them away. And it was kind of like that. It was like a bit feels bad because it was like everything he wanted to do, I couldn't stop him. And because he made that big mistake, he was on the back foot a little bit anyway. So I think Will almost conceded like turn 3. And I was kind of like, let's just keep playing because we may as well. But he kind of like just like, I think I was like 30 points ahead from turn 3. Because I got like 100 in this game. But he got a 65-30 on the primary because he got a big score at the end. And then 25 on the cards because the cards were just not in his favour. Didn't score anything for 2 turns, and then like only scored like 3 points in the next couple of turns. So I think Death Guard again, they're just really slow. They're good. They're pretty good at killing stuff now because they're just going to make everything -1 save characteristic while in contagion, just kill a lot quicker. But they're just really slow. But so I played this game and I actually won, which is really surprising. I think I took down. I didn't kill either Rhino. I think I killed 1 Plague Burst Crawler and 2 of the Knights. So I only killed 4 vehicles and it had like 9. But just like if you could just outplay your opponent, then it's great. It's great. So but last round I actually played against Aiden from the Disgusting Resilient podcast, who's been tuning in. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Really appreciate it. And also let me just catch up with everyone in chat before we go into the final game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can have more than 1 Grandmaster. I can't see anything that says you can't. He's not an epic hero. Which is obviously be the big tell. And there's nothing like in the detachment ability about like you can only take 1 of this. The first time Grandmaster is mentioned is some law. And then Carl Rodrigo's law. So yeah, so there's like no there's no limit to how many Grandmasters you can have. There's nothing like that. So obviously they had like 1 Dread Knight or 1 type of Grandmaster in each detachment, but they don't have that anymore. So you can take as many Grandmasters as you want. So yeah, so last round I ended up playing Aiden. Now Aiden's was Death Guard again. I'll have to make sure I get this right because he's watching. And he was a great lad to play. He's really, really fun. But he had like a really tricksy Death Guard army, which I thought. So he had the Death Guard Chaos Lord in Terminator armor, which had a relic that could like extend the range of contagion of him. So he could like, and he could do like weird mortal wounds through walls. Like within 12 inches, he could do mortal wounds, which is pretty fun. Death Guard Sorcerer, which had a bunch of shooting attacks, Curse of the Leper, and doing like mortal wounds as well. Lord of Virulence, as I've already mentioned. With deadly, I don't know what Deadly Pathogen does, but he's basically the spotter for the Plague Burst Crawler. So anything with blast weapons gets +1 to hit and ignore cover, like a land speeder. And obviously with 3 Plague Burst Crawlers, that's really good. So, and then he's got Mortarion. Now Mortarion, again, with triple Plague Burst Crawler, makes me want to play this list. Ignore modifiers for your units within 6, so they don't suffer the -1 hit from direct. And also provides reroll 1 to wound. So now what you can do is you can reduce the toughness of your opponent by getting close to them, reduce the save by getting close to them, and then give yourself -1 reroll 1s to wound and ignore modifiers to the shooting. And you're getting +1 to hit from the Lord of Virulence. So you're actually getting fucking like 2s to hit, and then 6s auto wound, and then 2s to wound rerolling 1s. It's really good. Really, really good. And then you got Typhus. Typhus is pretty fun. He's a bit of an anchor. He's got the Doom Bolt ability as well, like the Librarians. Not quite as good. Death Guard Cultist, again, do the same thing. 2 units to do the sticky objectives. They're really fun. Hellbrute. So the Hellbrute's nice because he can do ranged contagion. If you target a unit and hit it with a ranged weapon, you can give that contagion to reduce the save by 1, etc. Death Guard Predator Annihilator. So this was the 4 las cannons. I'm not sure why everyone's taking Predators with Death Guard. I don't know why they seem to be the in thing. I don't know if Predators are that good. They're fine. 130 points, a decent platform. The las cannons aren't bad. I just don't know why Death Guard is taking them. I don't know why Death Guard players are all over Predators at the minute, but there you go. 2 units of 3 Death Shroud with all the flames because Death Shroud are great. 3 Plague-Based Crawlers, 20 Pox Walkers, and 2 units of Nurglings. It's the only source of Strength 12. Guys, you don't need Strength 12. Just hit stuff. It's the best bunch of bad choices for anti-tank / long range. Okay. Yeah. It's just like, I probably want like another unit of Death Shroud. Personally. That's just me. So yeah, this is like a lot more of a tricksy army because it had a lot more assets rather than just like going all in on vehicles. It's got like the cultists that have sticky objectives. It got the Hellbrute. Whilst Hellbrutes are relatively easy to kill for the points, I do like that ability a lot of being able to pop their head out and give out contagion. Didn't you miss high strength in Grey Knights? Yeah, but it's like 4 shots. Like it's 130 points for 4 shots. You know? Yeah, fair. I just said I didn't have enough. I didn't have any range, but is it worth like a chassis that's quite big, hard to hide? I didn't rate them, that's all. 3 shots. Yeah, it's 3. That's true because one of them is twin linked. Okay. 43 points per las cannon shot. Okay. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. So this mission was Hammer and Anvil, which meant you had, this is fucking weird. 1 objective, 2 objective, 3 objective, and then 1 light here, and then 1 light, oh, not there, sorry. 1 light there, and then 1 light there. When it all came said and done, what was a bit weird about this one is this objective, because of the measurements and the TO kind of came over and clarified, this terrain piece, whilst on this picture, was actually not measured to be there. Because this one is a lot further away than this one, as you can see. So this is like 1 inch. This is like 3 inch, as you can see. So we're using the measured one. And what that meant is the capture zone, it's not going to be straight, was essentially like that. You know? And same here, but like I'm going to do a lot smaller just so you get the idea. So the whole point is he kind of came over and said that for these objectives, if you're in this building, you can hold the objective, but you are within 1 inch of the wall. And I was like, okay. So those objectives you can't get near without getting charged. Right, cool. At least I can hide behind it, but I'm going to get charged. But then this objective, the capture zone was like this. Again, I'm not very good at drawing circles in dots, okay? The capture zone was like this. So that objective, you couldn't hide behind the wall either. So the 3 objectives in the middle, just like every other game we'd played today, the other 3 had no cover. You couldn't hold the objectives whilst being out in the without being out in the open, or you could have 1 model up against the wall and you could hold the objective, but you can get charged. So I'm just like, excuse me? Why? Why is this? So yeah, so it's kind of like really strange that you couldn't, in like no mission, you could like hide behind a wall and hold an objective. Like just the one model. So like, to be fair, you couldn't sit in one spot and shoot all the objectives unless you were stood like here. Like this part of the board, maybe. But like straight down here is a death box. Obviously the deployment zone is like this. Something like that, you know, like this vibe. So yeah, so like you couldn't like sit from your deployment zone and see all the objectives, but you could just walk here and see 2 and then walk around and see 3. And then you can start to see this one as well. That's a good thing. Not all objectives should be in cover, but maybe more than half should be. Maybe the middle one. Maybe these 2 are not the middle one. The 3 objectives wide open is very bad for gameplay. Because it just means anything that's melee dies, and anything that's shooting sits on the side of boards and shoots for days. Now, in this game, it didn't matter too much because most of Aiden's shooting is indirect, so it doesn't matter. But this was a really weird one because it was also sites of power. But the whole point of this mission is to hold objectives in no man's land with characters and score points. So basically, each objective is worth 3. If you hold it 1 in no man's land at the end of your command phase, it becomes empowered. And if you score from that objective, that's whilst it's empowered, you get an additional 3. So whilst holding it with a character, it's essentially worth 6. I fucking essentially just ran my assassin in here. I ran my assassin in here turn 1. Aiden never engaged. It's got to be like 24 points, I think. But my assassin sitting here until turn 4 before he managed to get to her. But this was a really interesting one because Aiden actually managed to kill every unit bar the paladins purely because paladins had the trick of you can't get anywhere near me. And if you do, I'll teleport. And if you shoot me, I'll teleport. The fact is that within direct, you can obviously target the paladins anywhere on the board, which is great. But it also means you target them anywhere on the board, they can appear anywhere on the board as well. So yeah, like sites of power, I scored a bunch on primary and actually outscored Aiden until the last turn. And like even with the cards, like round 5, I slowed down because Aiden's list was actually a lot more killy than I realized because the Lord of Virulence was spotting units with the Plague Burst Crawler. And obviously, like, you couldn't hide on these maps if you're trying to hold objectives. You could spot units with the Plague Burst Crawlers. They were just, like, hanging around in the deployment zone. And then the Lord of Virulence will spot them, and then Mortine would ignore the modifiers. And I couldn't use True Silver Armor either, because that's a modifier to the characteristic. So he was not only making them hit on 2s, he'd given them ignore cover and AP1, and I can't reduce it by 1. So essentially I'm back up to 3s. What I found against Will is that like he never managed to give them ignore cover, and he was hitting on 4s a lot of the time. So like the Plague Burst Crawlers were hardly ever hitting, and then when they did, I had a 2-up save. Whereas Aiden's list, every time he shot the Plague Burst Crawlers, one of them would pick up a unit, or maybe 2 of them would pick up a unit, then the next one was shooting, rather than me losing nothing to the entire shooting. So Mortarion and Lord of Virulence are like 100% crucial in a in a Death Guard list. I think Mortarion, obviously he's great as well. He's really good defensively as a big angry smashy piece. The 3 Plague Burst Crawlers shoot really well with a Lord of Virulence and Mortarion buffing them as well. It seems mental to have almost 1,000 points invested in artillery and buffs for those artillery pieces. Yeah, but you got to remember that also the Plague Burst Crawlers are just really good at being annoying because they've got 2-up save, the T10, they've got an invuln. They've got flamers on them or entropy cannons, but flamers are arguably better. I do like the flamers on them. Maybe 1 entropy cannon, 2 flamers, which is what Aiden used. I actually quite like that because you're going to have one kind of like holding the objective at the back and then the other 2 start rolling forwards. But like the Lord of Virulence also buffs the unit it's attached to. So you attach him to Death Shroud. I think it gives reroll wounds or something. Let me have a look. Lord of Virulence. Yeah, whilst he's... Oh, yeah, sorry. So he attaches them to a bunch of Death Shroud with flamers, and then he gives them reroll wounds to range weapons. So the flamers auto-hit and reroll wounds, and then with Blight Bombardment, he can see a unit and chooses it. Oh, no, not even sees a unit and chooses it. It's just any unit he can see. The indirect get all the blast weapons, so even and loads of other stuff. Blight launchers, probably. +1 to hit and ignore cover. So, like, he's giving reroll wounds. Mortarian's giving out reroll wounds to everything that's near him. They're ignoring the modifiers. You've got Mortarian, who's great. Who's obviously a very good angry hitty piece. And you've got the buffing the Plague Burst Crawlers on his way. So he kind of, like, rolls with the Plague Burst Crawlers, chilling, going really slow. The Plague Burst Crawlers and the Death Shroud, etc., deal with the stuff they can do with Mortarian. And then when Mortarian can't be killed, you just send him in, you know? Yeet. Now, I think this is a super, super close game. But, like, as you can see, Aiden didn't score hardly any cards turn 1 and 2 because he used New Orders turn 1. Drew Storm Hostile. I was not holding any of the middle objects. If I was going to teleport away. I think just the Assassin was, but, like, he just couldn't get to her. Started to score a lot more toward the end because Aiden was managing to pick up my units. So my scoring was really quick at the beginning, as you see, scoring 9 points in 3 turns in a row in the primary. Cards, pretty shit cards because of Overwhelming Force again. Overwhelming Force killing our objectives. We couldn't see each other, but I only managed to kill one. This is a really big fuck up of mine actually because I tried shooting the one unit on an objective, didn't manage to kill it, and then charged into Typhus and some Poxwalkers, which were the unit on there, and failed to kill Typhus, so didn't get 2 for Overwhelming Force. But I rolled like a 12-inch charge, which forced me, basically on this mission, on this objective, let me show you. Essentially, the objective's here. Typhus is like here, right? And there's like a there's like a 4-inch gap, or something like a 5-inch gap. So basically, when I charge, I want to charge like this. I want to do 1, 2, 3. I want to put another one there and another one there. So they can all fight, but when I kill Typhus, I power back onto the objective. That's the plan. However, the annoying thing is I rolled like a 12-inch charge. So what that meant is every model had to get base contact, which means they all end up round here instead. So when I kill Typhus, I can't power back onto the objective, which means I wouldn't have got secure no man's land because I was only holding this one and now I was no longer holding this one. But then I failed to kill Typhus, so it didn't matter, but it did mean I only scored 6 on 3 on Overwhelming Force rather than 6, and I couldn't get secure no man's land. So I really fucked up that turn. And then, like, the next couple of turns, I didn't score that many. But I managed to score a bunch on primary. But then Aiden had the same problem of, like, not being able to score primary right until the end. Scored a whole bunch. We scored 3 points difference on primary. And we scored exactly the same on cards. Again, he had, like, a bit of a slow start. Did really well in the middle. And then at the end, he drew Investigate Signals and Bring It Down. And he killed my Dread Knight turn 2. You know? You should have got 2 points to secure no man's land. Ah, do you get it for holding 1? Oh, well. There's no 1. I would have got 69 points. Would that have made a difference on the placings? Probably not. Don't tell me I was about to come second. What's the total? Battle points, 250. Doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter. No, you only get 2 if you have a single unit left. I thought that was right. Let me have a look. 10. 3. Let me have a look. Which one was it? Secure no man's land? Oh, I kept that turn 2. Control 1 in no man's land. Interesting. Maybe I would have scored 2 then. And then I would have drew into Assassinate quicker and then something else after behind enemy lines. Yeah, it's round 3 I had to go no man's land. Yeah, I would have got 2 actually. I would have scored another 2. So, I misscored myself. I should have scored 69. That would have been the real win. Scoring 69. But yeah, like what Discussing Resilient Podcast has just said, he didn't actually check his deck before he started the game and realised he was down 2 cards that he left on the table previously. So there's 2 cards that he could have drawn into that he never did. The good and bad thing about the cards is you got to make sure they're all there before you start playing. But yeah, I could have drawn 2 extra. I could have got 2 extra points and maybe drawn into something else. Round 4, I would have got no prisoners and assassinate, so I would have probably got 7 points that turn. And then turn 5, I used, I drew 2 cards. I got a New Orders for something else. But I didn't. So, oh no, I did new orders. So I would have drawn into something that I didn't see. So maybe it would have been a slightly larger victory, but it's a victory nonetheless. And then in singles, if you win by one, you win by one, you know? So I also could just never drew them, so it still whatever was a solid game. Yeah, it was really fun, mate. There's a lot of tricks in it, like, again, like, just the raw firepower from all the artillery was really good, and the fact that it was rolling towards me was difficult, because I didn't kill a Plague Burst Crawler, I didn't kill the Predator, I didn't even bother, like, touching Mortarion. All I was doing was jumping around the board. I killed the Hellbrute because I was like, range contagion shit. Get rid of that. But it did cost me a Dread Knight, so I was like, okay. But what I did was I just jumped around the board and just tried to stay away from him and picked off units that were easy to kill. Like, I killed all the Poxwalkers quite quickly. I managed to kill the Death Shroud units relatively quickly, barring one failed charge. But Aiden was doing the same. Whilst I was jumping around the board, Aiden was just, like, picking up the units that he could, like, get rid of, like, all the power armor units. And he was just, like, killing everything. So, again, I only had the Paladins remaining. And that was the only unit I had left alive at the end of the game. And they were in my deployment zone holding my home objective. So, they weren't doing a lot. I think I really underutilized them. They basically just killed the Death Shroud that charged in. But they could have gone out and done something and maybe forced the issue. But the problem was I never wanted to engage Mortarion. The best thing you probably do with that sort of list, if they're holding more time back to Plague Burst Crawlers, just leave him there. Just be like, take it on the chin. Just take it on the chin. So, like, the fact that he was, like, just, like, staying back, I was like, I never really had to engage with him. I'll take the Plague Burst Crawlers on the chin, and I'll just let them play as is, and then they'll just keep shooting, but I won't have to engage with them. And I never did, and then that's probably what won me the game, because the assets that were alive were scoring me points, and then the Paladins were there just ready to protect me from charges and just get rid of his hammer units at the back to stop me scoring a bit of primary. But all in all, a great day. 3 wins for the Grey Knights. I've played them 4 times, and I've won 4 times. I am quite literally the best Grey Knight player you've ever met, because I've never lost. Okay? I've never lost with a Grey Knight. What can I say? But no, it was really, really fun. It was really, really fun. Again, the tricks of the Grey Knights are crazy good, crazy strong, but also, I'm the type of player. Like, one person once said I'm annoying because I give him too many options. I'm the type of player that when you're in your opponent's movement phase, I'm like, just so you know, I can teleport at the end of the turn, and I can rapid ingress, and I can go 3 away. And I kind of like remind my opponent of all these things. I'm like, if you shoot this unit, I can teleport, you know? I'm not one of those players that's like, oh, because you've done this, right, that's it. I've completely ruined your game plan. I'm teleporting away. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize that. Tough. I told you to start the game. Because that's just a dog shit attitude to have. And you know what? I hate people like that. Because as soon as they start doing that, you have to pull out all your tricks and be a knobhead back. But what I'm like, hey, like, for example, Aiden's in chat. Aiden, every turn, you know, I'm like, just so you know, I can deep strike. If you shoot that unit, I can teleport. And I was kind of like, just reminding my opponent of all these things. Except for game 1 where I told Magoo to shoot a pistol in combat because it was funny. But I also said, don't do that. But yes, against Ryan, I did go, why don't you shoot that unit? And I tried to bait him into it and then told him not to do it. I could have, in all fairness, been a prick, like that guy at LVO, and gone, yeah, Magoo, shoot your pistol. And then gone, I'm going to teleport. And he's like, what? I'm like, yeah, he's shot now. I baited you into it, but you should have remembered. But no, I'm just not like that. I like to remind my opponent, and some people find it annoying, because it's just like, just let me do what I want to do, and I'll make my own mistakes. He's like, yeah, fair, I'll shut up then. Why shouldn't he have shot? Because the Paladins, so Mozrog Scrabbad, the big Squigosaur in combat, has a pistol. He was in combat with the Paladins. He'd lined his entire army to charge the Paladins. And if he targeted the Paladins with any ranged weapons, the once for battle enhancement to teleport away would kick in. So the enhancement is the only one that lets you teleport away. So this enhancement in particular doesn't have any engagement range like restriction. So I was in combat with Scragbad. As I said, where is it? We don't have a picture, maybe. Here it is. This is the moment. I'm like, Ryan, Ryan, shoot your pistol, kill that last Terminator. And he was like, okay. And it started rolling. I was like, Ryan, don't do that because I got the sigil of exigence. I'll teleport away if you do that. But he just kind of said, oh yeah, then roll the dice. And I was just like, no, don't actually do that. But yeah, I like to remind my opponent what they can do because the game's hard enough, and I'd rather beat someone that like remembers or like has the knowledge of what I can do and plays around it rather than falling into a gotcha trap and then fucking up, you know, and losing half their army or losing the entire game plan. It's kind of like one of those. That's the way I like to play. And I think that's the way a lot of people should play because the game's too complicated. There's too many special rules in the game now. All this simplified, not simple. I'll give them credit. All the rules, most of the rules make sense. There's just loads of them. They're simplified, not simple. They never said there was less rules. They just said the rules were easier, which is fair. Like when I was like, yeah, fair enough. But like. Yeah, I like to remind my opponent of what's going on. I don't think it's fair to try and catch them out. And I think that's one of the things, if you're going to take anything away from playing in a tournament, is try and be that guy, you know? Be like, hey, I'm going to remind you of my rules. If you don't want me to, that's fine. But I'd like you to do the same when I'm playing. Like stuff like just little things, you know? Just like, oh, I can Overwatch. I've got a funky Overwatch. I've got loads of flamers. It's a really basic one, you know? There's like I can -1 AP, I can reduce wounds by 1, I can -1 to wound. It's little stuff like that that like I think goes a long way, and it lets you and your opponent have a really competitive game where the victor isn't the person who had the most tricks and didn't tell their opponent. The victor is the person who played the better game or rolled the better dice or drew the better cards. And that's, in my opinion, way more fun than trying to trick your opponent. Because I think tricking your opponent because they don't understand the rules or don't know the rules or don't remember because you've been playing for 9 hours at that point and it's the last turn of the game and they're about to win and you're ready to catch them out to lose. I think it's a bit dog shit, and I think you can play a much better game with your opponent and way more fun, way more enjoyable, and learn a lot more from the game by being straight up about it. So... Gotchas are lame. I really appreciate the reminders. I'm sure I asked a million times. So if I do this, does X happen? Yeah, exactly. Like if you go within 9, I'm going to teleport. You know, if you're within 9, you move. I'm going away. So just be careful. So you can't move that unit. Or if you do move that unit, just be aware. Move that one first. So then I'll have to teleport, or I don't teleport, and then you can do other things. If you shoot this unit, I'm going to do this. I've got this, etc. And it's just better, you know. Magoo says, if it was a funny moment when I realised what had happened, a proper I done fucked up moment because I didn't catch you trolling me. Yeah, because I was like, Magoo, I'm going to teleport now. You know? I was like, I'm gonna teleport Magoo. And he's like, wait, no, stop. Please don't do this. And I was like, Magoo, it's time. It was like, it's just like, I like came up behind him, knife to throat, and was like, Magoo, it's time to go. But yeah, I just said don't do that. Playing with honor, not very Blood Raven of you. Blood Ravens have loads of honor. Every relic they've stolen, they've definitely cleaned and polished. There's too much shit to keep in mind. Exactly. So I think you should always like remind your opponent of just like all the crazy shit. Crazy shit that you can do. Especially when you're playing such a weird like Grey Knights. No one's really played against Grey Knights because they were dog shit like 2 weeks ago. Now they're actually really interesting because the points dropped. I was basically playing the same list, or had the same list written, because Tom Layton actually wrote the list. I didn't write this list. I added in the Terminator. Terminator's a librarian, arguably the worst part of the list. Maybe 3 librarians would be very funny. But so yeah, Tom Layton wrote this list, and it's really, really fun to play. But the problem with it is loads of tricks. If your opponent doesn't know what's going on, you can really catch people out. So you can be friendly while playing competitively. Exactly, yeah. Like as I said, like when I played and won the Atlanta ticket, you know, that one there. You know, me and Adam were having a great time. We kept reminding each other of stuff. We both cocked up a few times where it's so big that you can't let it go back. But it's like, yeah, it's top table, fair enough. But it's one of those. It's just like, just try and be nice when you're playing on a top table, because you're both really good players. So why try and like be a dickhead to win? I try and do that, although sometimes I think I get too helpful and start telling them how to beat me. I probably need to shut up more. Yeah, I definitely think there's a level where you can be like, I can remind you of what I can do, I'm not going to tell you what to do, you know? I'm like, if you do that, I can do this. Are you sure? Because I think that's better. Because at least you've got, like, you can make that decision then. If you're going, don't do that, do this, then, yeah, you're talking yourself out of a win. I think it reminds you about my Overwatch at 1.2, like, don't be a gotcha. Yeah, the Flamer Lord of Virulence, right? Because he's pretty good. I'm going to 3 GTs in the next 2 months. My first event in, like, 8 years. I'm looking forward to it. Excellent, Decknull. Excellent, mate. Listen, at the 9th hour, I wouldn't remind how to move my shit, let alone remember your gotchas. Yeah, exactly. It's a much healthier game when people play like that. Exactly that. That's what we're trying to do, you know? Try and promote a healthy game. I thought Micah was being a prick, but it was just psychological warfare. I mean, psychological warfare, when you're playing Grey Knights, it's just part of parcel, you know? It's part of parcel. But yeah, so that's how I came 3rd. I went undefeated. I didn't score enough points to get up to the top placings, but I won a prize at a tournament. So if you just take a few of those words out, I won a tournament with Grey Knights. Okay? It's the same. It's exactly the same. The words are all there. Just jumbled up. If that doesn't deserve a grey name cringe becoming green so he can hit 10 this stream, I don't know what does. I don't know what does, chat. I came 3rd with the worst army in the game. Look at the win rates 2 weeks ago. They had like a 20% win rate. They had like 20%. Let's have a look at Reddit. What were they this weekend? Oh, they had that weird tournament where they went 5-0, didn't they? A fucking RatCon. Where is it? Meta Monday. Show me the win rates. Meta Monday. Oh, I'm just going to go here anyway. Show me the win rates right now. Grey Knights. 49% win rate. 100 for me. 100% win rate for me. 4-0, baby. Got around some places to meet and play. You will catch Cino Shaw. Yeah, thanks again for tuning in, Discuss Review. Thanks again for the game, buddy. Mikey played Grey Knights in RTT so they don't get picked up by Meta Monday and win rate doesn't increase. What can I say? It's psychological warfare, baby. Oh. So fun. So fun. Great time. Great time. I remember winning the Thunder Skulls because I let my opponent have a take back in the final, which meant he would have won, but he then conceded to me at the end because I let him have a take back earlier. I mean, that's a nice way to win, right? It's like, you know, it's like nice that you let him go back and you almost lost because of it, but that just shows you how like of a noble player you are. Non-expert, but I've said before, mediocre players like gotchas to help win, whereas seasoned high-level players enjoy all cards on the table approach, such as Tom Layton. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's like, it's way better to just be like mid-tables are the problem. It's where people are like trying really hard. They try and catch people out to win. They try and like make people make misplays to win. They try and cheat to win. But like the top players, like me, because I'm a top player, not lost a tournament in, not lost a game in a tournament in 24 games. Okay? Wait, 24 games is it? The 3 here, 6 at Warhammer GT, 5 at the previous Warhammer GT. So that's, I'm trying to do the maths, 14. I went undefeated at the GT where I came first. That's another 5, so that's 19. Oh, no, there's one I've lost. All right, last 23 games. Not lost a tournament in 23 games. That's a good streak. That's a good streak, I'd say. I'm a professional Warhammer player, chat. So become a member. I've not said it enough. As little as £1.99 a month. If you're already a member, you can gift a membership to someone else. I'll teach you how to play Warhammer. There's lists help in there. I'll tell you your list is shit, or I'll find someone who wrote a better list and give you that one. You know? What can I say? I'm a man of all. I'm here to help. Grey Knights can't get nerfed if the stats don't know you're busted. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Tuned in at the point Mikey called himself a top player. Good to see he's still spouting the same rubbish. Undefeated in 23 tournament games. That's 4 GTs. That's 4 GTs, Tom. Undefeated. Undefeated. I'm the best player you know. You don't know anyone else. I'm the only person you know. Where do we get your help with worst army list? Custodes down with the dice. I could help Custodes. Play something else. No, I think Custodes, everyone's just trying to run loads of infantry. I don't think you can anymore. I think you've got to look back to Caladius's again. And the zippy things, the little boat things. I think they're really interesting. Generally chuffed for you and the Grey Knights seeing a big success. Yeah, I'm really enjoying playing the Grey Knights now, to be honest. They're really fun. I don't know, like, it's just not, it's an RTT, so it's not like a super direct comparison of how strong Grey Knights are, but I think they have a lot of play, and I think they're really interesting. Definitely really interesting. It does raise a question, what would we lose to gain the ability to kill things? Well, the thing is the only way they can do it now is if they either change the data sheets to give them hammers back. If they gave them hammers back, they'd be probably broken. Because I think the only thing that's holding Grey Knights back is they have all the tricks, but they don't have the killing power. So if you gave them killing power, they'd have to lose all of the tricks, you know? But I think they play better. I think they're much more fun to play and probably stronger as like a trick army. Because like they have a lot, they can do a lot. You know? They can do a lot. They can't kill like range stuff. So maybe like they need like a good shooting platform. But if they get that and they can start dealing with knights at range and fucking plague-based crawlers in line of sight, then having the tricks as well, they're going to have to get near somewhere. So all they can do is have like a detachment where it's like you get anti-vehicle 5+ or something, so you're running vehicles on 5s all the time. But then all the stratagems will be pretty shit. You know, you won't have Mist of Deimos, you won't have the devastating wounds in combat. So I think they're a really good position, and their weakness is vehicles. Vehicles are quite popular in the meta. But, like, if they didn't have a weakness, they'd be the best army in the game. So, yeah. I think they're good. I don't think they're the best. I think they're fun, though. But I'm going to add another trophy to the shelf. There it is, baby. Lads, I'm going to need a bigger shelf. It's starting to bow with all that weight on top. It's starting to bow with all that weight on top. They're basically Eldar with Achilles' heel. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So. But let's have a look at some memes that Magoo has made whilst he's been on his plane, I think. Let's have a look at some memes. We got stabbed to start us off with. It says, Tuesday RTT, 3rd place, undefeated, wins fame and booze. That's Prosecco. It's 100% Georgie's though. Yeah, I came in with a bottle of Prosecco. She was very happy to see me. That face when your fella plays Toy Soldiers and wins a prize you could enjoy. the emote. Let's get some Georgie emotes in chat. Members only. Members get some Georgie emotes in chat. But yeah, it wasn't an amazing prize, but a bottle of Prosecco is nice to take home. It's in the fridge. I did ask if I could spray it like I was the meme. You know, like the guy who came 3rd place. Where is he? I was like, do you mind if I do this? This one. I wanted to recreate this. But they wouldn't let me. I wanted to do this because I came 3rd with a bottle of Prosecco. I wanted to do this. They wouldn't let me. They said no because I was in the middle of Element, which I was like, yeah, fair. Fair enough. Mikey after coming 3rd with winning a bottle of Prosecco has no one made this. It's literally this one. It's literally this meme. Quite literally. It's me. I'm going to recreate this meme. That's what we're going to do. Excellent. Excellent. What else have we got? Mikey to Georgie last night. I want to share with you my economic vision. What format is this? What format is this? I've never seen this before. Should have been the thumbnail. It will be the thumbnail for the video. I hate making live stream thumbnails. It's so dog shit. Like, having to come up with an idea for a live stream that I'm then going to turn into a video. So the live stream thumbnail needs to be good for people to tune in. But it can't be too good that I'd rather use it for the video. You know? It's a bitch. It's a real bitch. Me to Georgie. Let me have some Prosecco. No. I like how there's just memes about me winning beer. I'm living the 40k dream, making bank and winning. Why is she upset? I had to get the bus home from work. True. Yeah, that was the problem. It's nice I came over with a bottle of Prosecco because I take Georgie to and from work most days. So she had to get the bus home. So coming in with a bottle of wine was very funny. Also, live streams are 95% tangents. Exactly. I was actually watching a Ludwig stream this morning. I'm going to go back and watch it afterwards. He was like saying that like live stream thumbnails are just dog poo. Because like if I stop talking about like I've not even talked about toilet dice. I saw toilet dice yesterday, by the way. You probably all saw. But like I'm talking about grey nights and now I'm talking about memes and then I might play a game or whatever. It doesn't really make sense to have like one thumbnail the entire time. They're like live preview thumbnails would be a lot better if they're like updated as and when, or you could change them on the fly, which you can, but it's not very good. So, hey Elliot, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. Watching you this morning inspired me. I'm trying to make you proud today. What have you done, Kirioth? Also, Kirioth, I'm going to drop you a message in a bit if that's cool. Let's collab, Kirioth. I have an idea. I'm good. It's early dinner time. Well, welcome to the morning news, brother. We're just looking at memes of me beating up Magoo. See? Magoo, how is it you score high but you still lose? I didn't seal club. Want to see what's happening in the Warhammer world? The Warhammer world? I'm a winner, obviously. As always. I've won again. Magoo firing all these guns. The Sigil of Exigence Paladin. These formats are so old. I love it, though. I have a spiritual successor to the Space Wolf culture vid. Oh, dear God. I can't wait to watch that. Magoo, when he doesn't catch Mikey's tone and shoots a pistol at the Paladins. Goodbye! Third isn't winning. Yes, it is, Elliot. Yes, it is. But yes, if I do win Atlanta, Joel, I will be unbearable. I will actually be the most unbearable person you've ever met. Mikey, why don't you shoot that Bosrog into the Paladins? Oh, mate, it's so funny watching people flap. It's so funny. The fucking... It's just... The reason I enjoyed it was just... I don't know if I like just enjoy watching people squirm, but watching people squirm is hilarious and it's really fun. And it's like the power that you hold over these people is funny. It's very, very funny. Tough competition in Atlanta. You haven't met my wife. Is your wife from Atlanta? Paladin has one wound left. Shoot pistol to try and chip it off. Unit teleports away. Oh, being the most unbearable. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, mate, fair play. This is it. This is it. This is my game plan. Shoot me, I dare you. Shoot me again. Shoot me again. Telling me about my opponent, about my army, telling them how to beat me. Why do all these? This is Magoo. Pure Magoo. When you win Atlanta, obviously when, not if. That's the crucial bit, everyone. Don't know if anyone noticed. That's the crucial bit of the sentence. When I win Atlanta, which is highly likely. I'm very good at Warhammer. I expect the trophy to be in front of you in camera shot for at least a year. I will have it yet in front of my face for probably a good few streams. I'll ask if he wants to shoot those paladins. Go on, shoot the paladins, I dare you. So funny, so funny. What else we got? POV, you shot Bisley to paladins. That's the best. It's the best one. That's the best one. Sorry, Mickey, you've been outdone. You've been outdone. That's literally what happens. It's so funny. Oh, you shot me? I'm going to teleport away then. Get fucked, scrub. Oh, fuck yes. All right, okay, I'm tweeting that one. Sorry, Detnol. Yoinked. Yoinked. That's the one that's getting tweeted, I'm afraid. Quote tweet. There it is. People don't know. Don't know. Don't know what. Oh my god, why can't I type? What great nights. Until this happens. You know what I mean? I perform anything I do. This is good content, right? Everyone gonna like this tweet. Do that. Go like the tweet. Go like the tweet. Go all hail Detnol, our true meme lord. Listen, Ryan, McGee, we need to work. You need to make some gifts. You need to make some good chat. We need to make some gifts, okay? We've got some good clips now. We need to make some gifts out of them. You know? Carl has been making some good ones with a screenshot. You know? He's been making some okay memes with the screenshot. We could be better. Like this one. It's not a bad format. It's like a shit Drake format. You know? Go to a Tuesday RTT. Play Magoo round 1. It's not a bad format. What I do in my life now is these are all I had. Make one gif and I'll laugh. That's a good format, but we need to improve it. I think we need to make it. Do we have meme templates? We do. We have the meme template. Okay. Chat, we can do this. Chat, we can do this. Okay, let me open Photoshop. We can just make a new Drake meme. Right? It's a dead meme, but if we make it our own, it won't be dead. It'll be alive again. That's how this works. Not bridge. Fuck off. Right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. It's here. Here we go. Not too much. Fit screen. Right. Did we download that image? Or did I just fucking open it? Lads, I've got so many tabs open. I'm so confused. It's none of those. It's not that one. I've got so many. I don't know which one I'm on anymore. Image. 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 There it is. Okay, let's save that. The quality's pretty dog poo. We could be better. We could be working on this, chat. Why is every tab open? Go away. Right, okay, here we go. Let's make it. Let's make it into a good format. Right, we need 2 of this. We'll hide that for one for a minute. We need to crop this one. Select inverse, and then we'll rub out the rest. Yeet, gone. What we need is, that's like the right size, but we need it to be like that big, like Drake. So we need it like there. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of cropping, I think. But I also think, chat, importantly, I need to be looking away. I need to be looking away, you know? I need to be like this way. Like, no, I don't want that. That's the format, right? We don't want this bit at the top, or whatever it is. Let me get rid of that line of pixels. And then we'll... This is very important to us, chat. You know that, don't you? I hope you realise. This is very important for the stream today. Making meme format. Make it wide enough so I fit. We'll do this. Where does Drake end? Okay, end there. Wrong layer selected. There we go. Select, deselect. Okay. Okay. Would it be blinking format be better? No, because it's the whole point is like I think Stab was trying to be like, oh, it's because he likes that. Because it was like the format he had was like go to an RTT, plays Magoo round 1, right? Am I being dumb? I don't think I am. I'm sure Stab will tell me if the format is wrong. But I think we need to make it more obvious. I think we need to make it more obvious. That's the problem. How do I make it obvious? I think we put the hand in, right? Hand. Like this hand, maybe. Would this work? If we did this, like that, like this, bam. Make it a lot smaller. I got a very small hand, clearly. And move the background. Will that work? Yeah, that's cool. Okay. Okay. And we just like move me across a little bit. I could do with Photoshop beta rather than Photoshop right now, but there we go. I'll stretch it a bit, it'll be alright. I want to... how can I do that? Make that little gap a bit wider. What am I doing with my life? Content aware fill. This is, guys, this is really important to do, by the way. I don't know if you realised. This is very important for today's topic. That's not right. Don't do that. Get rid of the black. The shoulder. That bit. Ah, that'll do. That'll do. I just wanted to make the square a bit bigger. And we'll blur it in. Smudge. Smudge. Oh, not too much. If I duplicate it, then I can do the top one loads. Okay. You'll never see, chat. It'll be fine. There we go. Let me put the hand there. I don't think that hand looks right. I don't think that hand looks quite right, does it? I was like, perfect. The mean format. What's the hand doing? Wait, later the party, did Mikey gotcha someone? No. No, I didn't gotcha someone. I just pretended to and wound him up for it. The hand makes it better. Does it? Does it actually? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I think it's because the hand looks too good compared to everything else. What if I just blur that? Blur tool. I blur the hand. Oh, it doesn't look like hand anymore. Smudge. Smudge. Just blur the bottom of the hand. I need to change the vibrance, I think. How do I make it look more like my hand? Oh, yes, pale. Perfect. I make it look more like it looks like I'm holding a tiny hand. Which makes it better. Oh, shit in hell. Exposure. Chat, that'll do. There is the meme. You are all welcome. It'll be shared in Discord templates. It'll be shared in the Discord templates. Enjoy, friends. I expect fine work from you now. I expect fine work from you now. There we go. There we go. I expect lots of memes made with this very bad format. I think this one. Now I'll say it should be this one. But that works. When your opponent moves phase, just how it falls back. 1 Grey Knight Psyche unit. Make a normal move. B. If it has a D-Track ability, it can be... Oh my god, baby! Oh my god, baby! I need to put your head on Drake's body. Why would I do that when I can recreate the entire meme? I could badly Photoshop it onto his Drake's body, or I could do this. Put his shit hand there. I think the shit hand makes it. I think the shit hand makes the meme better. Right, and that's it, I think. That's it for today. I'm not going to be painting today, I'm afraid. I've got so much to do. I've got more tournament prep to do, I'm afraid. The face he makes when he lands on the planet and both fighting sides are equally heretical. That's the face, actually, yeah. You're going to regret that. I mean, it's already out there. I just made it better. I made the format at least work. But anyway, if you aren't already, you should become a member for as little as £1.99 a month to support me and what I do. I am hopefully going to be having some videos coming out this week. I've got lots of fun ones. As I said, I'm printing something like this. This is what I'm working on, which is why I'm so busy, as you can see. Having a great time. Hello. Hello. I'm a space marine, as you can see, like Two-Face. Two-Face, but I'm an intercessor. So I've got that. I'm working on tournament stuff as well. I was going to build some terrain on stream, but sadly my glues haven't arrived. So I can't be doing that today. So I'm just going to go and try to do some other work. So that was easy meme done. There we go. The meme is complete. Well done, the head stuff. What a great meme. Oh, for God's sake. For God's sake. Oh, man. Well, on that bombshell, I'm going to call it a day. We didn't make 10 members, but I will. I'll be giving away a prize next time we do. Next time we do, I'll be giving away a prize. Thank you so much for supporting me while I'm having this little bit of a turbulent time. I really appreciate it. Join the Discord if you haven't already. It's free to join, but if you are a member, it's way better. It's a much better Discord when you've got actually access to everything. You actually talk to everybody. It's way easy for me modding it, and it's a way to support me. So thank you so much for tuning in. I'll probably have a video with the roundup of the Grey Knights coming out today. Thanks for hanging out. Enjoy your rest of your day. Hope it's fun. Hope it's great. And I'll see you again Friday for a live battle report. Live at 8 PM because it's games night, baby. I'm playing against the Imperial Knights and I still don't know what to play. So yeah. So thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And hopefully I'll catch you next time. Because next time's going to be great. It's going to be really fun. I'm going to be there. We're going to be playing some dice. And they'll be like, wow, I'm the greatest player you've ever met. I'm like the best player you know. And I'm not full of shit half the time. Just full of shit in a funny way. Not in a cringe way. I'll see you then. I love you.